It's Jay Dickey with American Heritage Partners. We're here on April the 19th, 2026. We're in the year of America 250. We're in Beaverton, Oregon, where today, amazingly, there's going to be a dedication of a Revolutionary War memorial, the biggest that has ever been installed west of the Mississippi. So this is going to be a momentous day. We're expecting a gathering of several hundred people, plus hosted by the Sons of the American Revolution, and in particular the Lewis and Clark chapter, which is located here in Beaverton. So it's going to be a great crowd. More later, but I'm going to introduce you to some people, and then we're going to see some ceremonies later on. Plus we're going to see the unveiling of this amazing monument, which has been years, literally years, in the making. So stand by. So some amazing displays for today's dedication ceremony. This is also co-hosted by the Daughters of the American Revolution. They've been very involved in this, and of course the town of Beaverton is heavily involved. Well, hopefully we're going to see the mayor of Beaverton during the actual dedication ceremonies. But you can see behind me, this pathway has many flags here, and in fact this entire park is surrounded with flags. I think there might be 100 flags that have been placed here around the grounds. You've got a 1976 flag here, for example, but look at the color. This amazing day. And by the way, this weather is incredibly rare. So here we are on April the 19th. The sun is out. It's 70-degree temperatures. It's an amazing day to commemorate our soldiers, our patriot ancestors who fought to make this country free. So one of the Sons of the American Revolution people here today who are going to be participating in the dedication ceremony is my good friend Mike Lebsock, a teacher here in the Beaverton area, and I'm talking to him in no small part because he is one of the best reenactors of Mr. John Adams, our founding father and second president of the United States. And Mike, I just wanted to ask you, how did you stumble into becoming a reenactor, and in particular, John Adams?
It kind of was all by accident, really. My grandfather told me that we were related to John Adams, and I was 22 and not teaching, and I had no idea, other than that he was the second president. I had no idea who this guy was. But I began working at Colonial Williamsburg with the Teacher Institute, and I'm watching these character interpreters just mesmerize adults, and I immediately knew I needed to do that with my kids, my students, and thought, well, maybe I should do Adams. Yeah. It gave me a reason and an avenue to explore this incredible man's life, and I continue to learn and grow, and given opportunities like joining you in Lake Tahoe and stepping into his shoes was an incredible opportunity.
So is there a school that you go to take on a character, or how do you do that? You obviously you immerse yourself in the character.
A lot of the people that do character interpretation, their background are actors. That is their experience, and history is just sort of woven into it. In my situation, I'm the history guy, and realized that you kind of have to pretend really well to be this person. So I didn't have the acting experience, but I had the history side, and I guess those things kind of work together.
And you're a natural on the acting side, I have to say, because you mentioned Lake Tahoe. Our audience may not know, but Mike came down to Lake Tahoe and gave a performance of John Adams on the 250th anniversary of the beginning of the Second Continental Congress. Had a big crowd. It was fantastic. So good luck today. Well, I hope it all goes well. It's great to see you.
It's always great to see you. Thank you.
And be well.
Thank you.
I mentioned that the Daughters of the American Revolution is ever present, and here they are in Veterans Memorial Park. We're gearing up for the dedication ceremonies, but I couldn't resist, Dina. You are a knockout in this dress, and where did it come from? Did you make it yourself? Tell me a little bit about the dress.
I did not make it. I'm, a how-toer, put together. And what I did is I ordered it, but I didn't like the way it came. So I
Embellished.
embellished it.
You embellished
so,
it.
Yes, the roses are put on by me. And
Did you make the roses?
I did not.
Uh-huh.
Love Amazon.
Amazon is a good source. Yeah, the Revolutionary War ladies would have loved it.
My shoes?
I have not. Get those shoes, Angela. Amazing. Now those look authentic.
They do. And, the shoes are called mules. That's what they are referred to in women's dress. And then I have stockings that are pretty typical of that period, too.
Uh-huh.
And then I actually have shorts underneath here, so...
That's cheating.
It is cheating. But when I drive in the car, these things go up. And I got to lift up this skirt
no
to
kidding.
pull them all back down.
So this would not be the average
No.
female from the Revolutionary War era's outfit.
It would be if you were invited to a dinner and or a ball. And some of my ancestors, I have actually a portrait that was painted of one of my ancestors, and she has her hair worn just like this, not the feathers. She has pearls hanging from her hair.
Painted while she contemporaneously when she was alive.
Yes. And,
Wow, that's pretty rare.
Her name was Mary Boyd, and her husband was my grandfather also, and he was John Finley. And I came into DAR under David Finley, their son. And there's also another Finley, William Finley, which would be an uncle, and he is in the Revolutionary War Museum in Philadelphia, on the wall.
And I will be there on July the 4th.
So you look for him.
I will look for him.
There's
Mr. Finley.
William Finley. He's
William
right
Finley.
next to Abigail and another...
Not Abigail Adams.
Yes.
He's next to Abigail.
There's three portraits. Well, there are three images of three different folks that had something more to say about the Revolutionary War, and so he's one of them. And he was one of the first men that wrote a book that was why church and state should be separate.
He was ahead of his time.
He was, and he also wrote a book on the Whiskey Rebellion.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Well, so you can tell that there are some patriots here, some very deep patriots, Dina being a great example. What a great life story you've got. And thank you for talking to us. You take care and take care of this. So we're here with my good friend Dave Witter of the Oregon Sons of the American Revolution. Good to see you, by the way.
Nice to see you.
And I've been talking a lot about the sheer size and scope of what we're about to see, the dedication ceremony for the Oregon War Memorial here in Beaverton. The man responsible in significant part is standing next to me, Dave. Tell me a little bit about how this came together. How long has this been in the making?
Well, the idea for doing this, for creating a memorial here, came about in 2008, at least back that far.
That's, let me see, count. That's
17 years.
17 years.
So the reason is the top of that memorial says, dedicated to all veterans. And our chapter has been doing events in this park for at least 2 decades.
This is the Sons of American Revolution,
Yes.
Lewis and Clark chapter.
Yes. And the question came up, with that says dedicated to all veterans. Where are the Revolutionary War veterans?
Right.
Well, if you actually look at the plaques here for each of the services, there are a couple of them that say 1775, and there's a couple that have
Marines were started, and
yes, and the
right?
Army,
and the Army,
and the Navy, and the Merchant Marine.
Yeah.
And so they've been celebrating their 250th anniversaries over this last year. But the question...
And you wanted to get in on the action.
And we wanted to... And so the reason it got built here was that one of our members, Greer Ingebrigtsen, asked that question. Where are the Revolutionary War soldiers and veterans? And so that's what started it. And soon after that, he enlisted the support of Legion Post 124, the
American Legion,
and the city mayor at the time said, yes, you can build a Revolutionary War memorial here in the park, because the city owns this.
Over this particular monument, right?
Yeah. So it's on the other side of this monument. And Park District said, that sounds like a good idea to us.
Wow.
So that coalition has stayed in place for 17 years. They were just
Unbelievable.
waiting for us to finish raising the money.
It survived COVID, all of those things.
Well-
Tell me, just in a couple of minutes or less, the fabrication of this monument was its own challenge, but it's part of it is made of glass. Is that right?
Yes.
Tell me about that.
So, just to digress 1 second, just to go back.
Sure.
So there have been 3 different designs. So the second design had 6 bronze sculptures, and COVID killed the fundraising.
I'm sure.
And the cost of bronze and the fabrication time and all that just made this project unaffordable, so it stopped. And in 2023, I was calling around trying to get a quote for a granite bench. And I talked to O.M. Stone,
Who I met yesterday.
yes, who you met yesterday, and they make headstones. And when I talked with them, I explained I was after a bench, and Tony out there said, that's kind of not a standard size. And then he said the key question, what is it are you trying to accomplish? So I explained that we had stopped the project, that we'd really like to do something to recognize the 250th. And he said, well, why don't you come out? So when I came out there, I saw this glass art, which is basically color images tattooed on granite.
And not very thick.
It's not very
yeah,
thick.
right.
But they have the proprietary rights to that. They own the patents. And
It's a patented thing.
it's a patented thing.
Wow.
And they have been doing that now for, I think, about 15 years. And they've done a lot of veterans memorials and a lot of other civic memorials. And I looked at that glass that was on that glass art, the color of glass art, and I thought, wow, what
It really
can
is
we
striking.
do?
And later, by the way, in the dedication ceremony, there's going to be an unveiling. You'll see this, and it's magnificent. The colors are just so vivid. It's an amazing work of art. Yeah.
So I had a good crew of guys, 3 teachers that we worked with, and we kind of figured out what we wanted to try to accomplish. So the first thing was to honor the first veterans and soldiers, but then we also wanted to be able to kind of create a base so that people that see this are kind of reminded of the founding principles. So that's the reason we have selected the pieces. And we were fortunate, as we were looking at trying to identify how the representative soldiers might be depicted, to run across examples from the famed historical artist Don Traiani. And we thought, well, let's see what will happen if we call him up and ask if we can license his figures. And he said, okay.
Sure.
Yeah. And so we spent hours and hours going through thousands of the images.
And I saw some of them yesterday. You
and
showed them
trying
to me. Yeah.
find the ones that kind of fit together in a collage. So
It's an
it's
amazing
really
story. I can't tell you how moved I am that you were able to pull this together. We're going to have hundreds of people here in a little bit, but again, the mastermind, the maestro, is Dave Witter. Thank you so much for talking to us.
You bet. Thank you for coming.
Yeah. Monument that's going to be unveiled today. This is today's brochure, and you can see here on the front cover, this is what you're going to be seeing. And this here, there's going to be 2 different flags that are being depicted and some other images we'll get close-ups of, but this is made out of glass. It's a glass enameled flag, and of course this is the Betsy Ross flag here and so forth. Betsy Ross flag 1777. So and this was a labor of love of one of the men of the Sons of the American Revolution who found this very gifted sculptor who designed the whole thing. This park here, the Veterans Memorial Park, is a perfect setting, as we'll take a little bit of a panoramic view in a bit, but this is what we're here to dedicate. In the Veterans Memorial Park, there's already one monument that you see here This is a United States Air Service memorial dedicated to those who served in defense of our country. And you see here at the bottom, it's specifically commemorating the Mighty Eight, which were the planes that we flew in World War II between 1942 and 1945. A very impressive monument. As you pull back, you can see that it has a giant propeller from one of the planes that would have been very much involved in our flights to go bomb Germany and other enemy territory. So we got one monument here already. The monuments we're dedicating today will be on the other side. Okay? Here they go. We now have the honor guard approaching. They'll be leading us ultimately into the site of the war memorial itself. There they go. They're going behind the existing monument to the last thing, a flyover. There's the unveiling. Watch it go. There they go. They're tearing them off. Look at this. Here it is. Here it is. There's one of them. And we have some. That was the muskets going off over there.
Yes.
One more shot. Hey, we got some confetti. One of the monuments, you can see the images there, left to right, Merchant and Family, Committee of Safety, Militiaman, left to right, Minuteman, Oneida.